You know what I love? I love a villain that gets shit done. F honor. F being fair. I'm standing on straight business. You're either with me or you're dead type shit, you know what I mean? And in the age of anime, Hunger Games, and Stranger Things, you know what I mean? We've forgotten that no one is better at villainy than colonial England. And let me introduce you to this British son of a bitch. And this dude might be the best villain we've discussed so far. And the best part about it is, he's not finished! Bro, people say anyone can get a show on Netflix, and Netflix shows and movies ain't hitting, and Netflix is like,
this is how it always happens.
Cause they put the fucking rent into this one. I don't know where they found this, but they scouts deserves a bonus. All right, brothers and sisters, today we'll be going over two phenomenal characters, one being the Blue-Eyed Samurai, the other being the embodiment of Chicago drill rap. If you don't understand what's going on, you'll figure it out very soon. Nothing like a good first impression, especially with cinema, and boy, do we get a first impression here. So Mizu's first notable appearance is when she pulls up and starts boxing an entire JoJo by herself! Bro really spawned in and said, fuck it, I want the whole server. Pause, no Diddy. So she, and I cannot stress this enough, is mixing the fuck out of these students. She's slapping them up. She's maxing them out. Every synonym and adjective and whatever the fuck you can think of for getting that ass beat, she's doing to them. She is putting belt to ass, okay? It's so bad, I'm running out of adverbs to describe how bad these dudes are getting worked. And before you feel bad for them, it's revealed later that a large percent of the people you see in this show are extremely Can you say that on YouTube? We're about to find out. So after obliterating half the server in all of maybe 10-20 minutes in game time, someone eventually goes to get the mod, and we all know how these Twitch mods get. But funny enough, before he could start pounding his chest, Mizu starts talking shit. These niggas suck. You teaching them this mass-produced dog shit. Easy to learn, easy to beat. And the mod is like, oh yeah buddy, if it's so easy, how about you beat me, you freak? So they start boxing and I'm like, yeah, let's get negative. So they're boxing and it's beautiful and I'm in love, you know what I mean? I'm missing fight scenes. This was after I watched My Hero Academia or something, I don't remember. So round one ends in a draw. At some point between or during round 2, Twitchmod realizes that Mizu has blue eyes, which signifies that she is partially or fully European. So he starts talking mad shit, and Mizu was like, this ain't finna fly. Although she realized right away, the mod realizes that this is the same blue-eyed man he's used to bullying in, you know, during his childhood. Despite the trash talk, both of them do the samurai thing where basically they understand that the person across for them is of equivalent skill or better, therefore a prolonged fight isn't advantageous, it's basically just bad RNG, so they go for a quick decisive blow to swiftly end the fight. Kind of like midway. And it happens. There's a lot of build up with Mizu visualizing the best way to attack Ponytail here, but as long as it took to get here, it ends in a flash. It's unclear if Mizu intentionally spares his life, or if she genuinely didn't cut deep enough. Nonetheless, Ponytail wins a decisive battle but spares her so he can humiliate and execute her. Unfortunately for him, he didn't realize that she was wearing what I assume are weights, low-key Rock Lee style, so round 3 begins and she absolutely washes him. He gets clapped. Mizu pulled an Uno reverse card as she chops off his ponytail and basically gets him disowned by his dojo, which is funny how they turn her back on him despite the fact everyone in here got beat the fuck up, and the only ones that are untouched because they were too scared to fight. How you turn your back on your best soldier because he got beat like everyone else? That's dumb, bro. Anyways, given their build, you would assume that these guys are a season-ending boss fight, right? And yeah, check this out. Skipping the politics, the Four Fangs start tracking Mizu, and these guys are the definition of collateral damage because they are just murdering everyone and anything. That's a slight inconvenience to them. Fortunately for Ponytail, I think his name is Tai Chin, but for the sake of not calling him the wrong name, I would just call him Ponytail for the rest of this. Okay, so the Four Fangs... So the Four Fangs are making such a ruckus that Ponytail is able to track Mizu down. And remember I said these guys are looking like a season-ending boss fight? Bro, they found Mizu halfway through the episode and I'm like, oh, y'all finna do this right now? Let's fucking get start boxing. So I believe there was a slight bit of dialogue in it as like a "you know why I'm here" type of icebreaker. So they started jumping Mizu, and I'm like, damn, these niggas move different. JP would be proud. So Mizu is quickly getting overwhelmed by the synchronized attacks, and they eventually push her into a cliff's edge. And I'm like, yeah, you're finished, buddy. Anyways, another subtle Samurai Champloo reference happens when Mizu decides to jump off said cliff. And I'm like, smart decision, shawty. Ain't no way you finna box all 4 of these dudes at once. And ladies and gentlemen, what follows this decision, it led me to believe that Mizu can be one of the greatest protagonists, not only on Netflix, but the greatest protagonist we've reviewed thus far, except the video games, you know what I mean. Anyways, still hyping her up though. She simply dropped down a ledge or 2, right? And before I could finish thinking, I'm like, oh, y'all don't have the balls too. They jump down and surround her. I was like, oh, okay, well, damn. But now they are noticeably further apart versus how they were atop the cliff. Most people in this situation where they get jumped come to 2 conclusions. One being, which is what most people do when they spontaneously get jumped, and that's basically try not to fall and just take it and protect their face, protect their face and stomach. The other option is to single them out XXXTentacion style and paint that nigga while he on the ground.
And they jumped me, nigga. Nobody gave me the faith of a one-on-one, nigga. Nobody gave me the respect of a one-on-one, and I painted that nigga when he was on the ground.
Anyways, Mizu goes for option 2 and breaks it into, basically turns this into a series of 1v1s, right? Because if you draw the fight out, you're gonna get jumped, so you gotta be quick and decisive. Anyway, she immediately washes 2 of them. Like, they got bodied damn near instantly. And I'm like, damn, y'all are supposed to be the 4 Flames. Y'all are bigger frauds than the goddamn Anbu Black Ops. So she at some point during the fight gets stabbed in the shoulder or whatever. Despite that happening, she manages to finesse one of them to committing a overhead attack. And I keep telling y'all, these dramatically telegraphed overhead attacks don't work because she cuts this nigga in half. Now, I can't remember if the fight itself takes them down the cliff or if something happens and they fall, but I do believe they fall because now Mizu is injured and she has to face the leader, and it turns out to be a small world in this situation because the leader of the 4 Fangs turns out to be an assassin named Yaki. Yaki is someone from her childhood, and long story short, he was a man who needed a sword to avenge his slain wife. Mizu watched him train and mimicked his moves until she eventually challenged him. He brutally beats up Mizu, which is actually good for her in the long run. I mean, everything he did was okay, except for laughing at her. Like, wow, okay, that makes you sadistic, not a real teacher. But anyways, if you could start to see the cracks in his story as he gloats about beating up a little kid, like literally, she was like fucking 10, dog. Fast forward, turns out to be an assassin who wanted a sword from the famous blacksmith, so he finessed his way to get it, as he knew he was a blind guy would never make a sword for an assassin, right? And that held true because Mizu actually made the sword and Butt broke the tip off paw. So after recognizing each other, they enter to the decisive blow sequence. And unfortunately, Mizu gets distracted as Ponytail Puta. Was it Puta or Ponytail? One of them tries to be Sneak, but Mizu doesn't die, okay, after losing the decisive scrum, which is crazy because that makes 2 that she survived and 2 that she got hold in. That is insane. But anyways, yeah, eventually the fight resets. In Fight or Flight, Mizu is basically Birder pre-Namek patch, so Yaki gets washed, and the victory is short-lived as Tai-Chan or Punta, whatever the fuck you want to call him, pulls up and is like, you know, I want my revenge. But he's not about that life, and Mizu tells him something along the lines of, honor is bullshit. If you want revenge that bad, you should have killed me when you had the chance, right? You know what I mean? To clarify to everyone who's not paying attention to the screen, basically, Puta, Ponytail Tai-Chan, pulls up on Mizu, and she is, well, beat the fuck up because she just won a 1v4, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you to avenge my honor or whatever, and he doesn't kill her because, well, she's beat the fuck up. It's not a fair fight. And she eventually wakes up and she's like, dude, if you really want revenge that bad, honor is bullshit. Fuck the honor. If you genuinely want revenge, you should have killed me right then and there and not give a fuck about the fair fight. And basically that was the lecture. But yes, he saves her. After this, we get some character building, and long story short, Mizu got it out the mud. I'm fucking with the backstory. But next thing to note that happens is we meet the real season ending boss, and he's talking shit, okay? I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember that I liked him after this scene. Pause, no diddy. Outside of meeting the villain, Mizu and Punta do the samurai equivalent of slapboxing and agree to fight in autumn, which gave me the impression that we're getting a Samurai Champloo ending. And in the next episode, Akemi attempts to assassinate Mizu, but she fails horribly. But Akemi has the potential to be a S-tier side character or an S-tier tyrant slash villain in the future. Anyways, but in this part of the show, in this arc, the final boss is undeniably the best character in the show, not named Mizu. But Akemi could be my favorite character if the show continues, because she's amazing. And she be throwing that motherfucker. Some of y'all would have liked if I left that out, but isn't it nice to have two female characters that occasionally get naked, but or even get the Dooney beat down, right? But that's not the resume. It's just a part of it. Like, they are genuinely characters outside of the sex appeal. Like, that is awesome. And I mean, seeing this after watching that fucking Acid Girl from My Hero, dog, or yeah, it's just good to have female characters that's more than just sex appeal. Anyways, oh wow, I literally wrote down, I mean, compared to Acid Girl from My Hero Academia, where her whole character is just spandex on a thick character model, I'm be reading my own mind. I'm on Wi-Fi with myself. Anyways, Mizu is a legitimate warrior, a real character wearing traditional man clothes to hide her identity, which isn't sexual at all. I mean, she does get naked to bathe or cleanse herself, right? And she does that ritual thing where you write all your sins on yourself and wash them away. But anyways, Kimmy is basically the noble side of being an IG or OF model. I don't know where this was going. Anyways, she's being dealt a bad hand where you can either be a whore at a brothel or a whore in a castle. And she said, nah, fuck all that. I want my own shit. I'm not going for that. And that is genuinely why she could be one of the best characters. She is like, oh, now let me get this tangent off, bro. I don't know if I have it in here, but she gets trapped in a brothel because she ran away, right? And all the hoes is telling her, what do you mean? You could be, you know, you might get treated like shit, but at least you will get treated like shit in the castle, right? We have to be hoes here in this slum, roach infested brothel, but you could be treated like a hoe in a castle. And Akemi's like, what the fuck? I don't want to be treated like a hoe nowhere. I'm not going for that W character, W side character for real. Back on track, she starts making moves to get it her way, and she's like, I can use my status and my looks to get what I want, and what I can't get, I can finesse people to get it for me. And if I gotta lie, I'm a lie. If I gotta throw that thing back, I'm not finishing that sentence, but you get the point. I mess with Akemi heavy because I was taught history as a fact, and it ignores a lot of context, and sometimes makes things seem like it comes down to chance rather than it would have taken a miracle, for better or worse, for it to turn out differently. And I bring this up because when it comes to some of the more heinous events in human history, like slavery, European H-word, or in this case women's suffrage literally meaning the mistreatment and abuse of women, not the right to vote. And when we're taught the summary and the facts of what happened, it kind of makes you think that people just took it laying down, right, until said activists showed up. And while I know this is probably not what Akemi is really designed for, but I appreciate her being the character that made it click, because at first I'm like, there's no fucking way a girl in isolationist Japan gets away with all this. And I'm like, well, actually maybe there was, and it may not be a lot, but there probably was more than you think. So like I've with Akemi on Larry, bro. Like there probably were women in feudal, you know, isolationist Japan that genuinely did what she did, like got away from the family and got it on her own because she didn't want to be a hoe in a castle, right? I feel like that happened, and I mean, there's no way to prove it unless I just do a deep dive into lore, but it's not unheard of, right? You heard of, you know, some of the stories about 1800s America and Britain, right? Tangent aside, Mizu ends up having to mercy kill a deaf and mute girl via assassination. It's a very sad episode. These writers are cooking, bro. They horny, but they cooking. It's hard for me to explain what's gonna happen next, but I cannot emphasize it enough, but this shit get wicked. Yeah! So bro pulls up with the gang, right? Because when he found his mute lover dead on the floor, he grabbed every claw warrior in the city and had Spin Bout You blasting, bro. Bass boosted and everything outside the club. Bro pulled up like,
now I gotta pull up. Everybody dying, me included. I ain't going to jail.
To ask you to marry me. We have kids together, a family. I'm going to take a fast 12 for fucking Modern Warfare 2 and just light niggas up. Walk into the room. Doom, 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 doom. Niggas gonna hear this shit and be like, God damn. Fuck, is it the Avengers fighting in that nigga house? Nick the Hawk throwing furniture and that shit?
There's some dialogue here, but everyone knows what's about to happen. We just want to see how the f is gonna happen. Like, how the hell is she finna pull this off? And on God, it looks like Mizu is getting stream sniped. And now that I mention it, this girl is getting stream sniped. Check this out. Mizu starts whooping they ass, right? Mizu was blitzing these niggas, right? So of course she's washing these dudes. But if you have to move or get engulfed, right, it eventually happens, right? It gets dark, right? And I can't remember if she blew the candles out or if she simply walked to a part of the brothel with no lights. Nonetheless, it's dark and she's mixing, because per usual, then out of nowhere someone sees her and catches her slipping, and it's like, bruh, you can't tell me they wasn't stream sniping. How the fuck did they keep finding her in this room, bro? They like they were tracking her ass down. Nonetheless, she gets her armor cracked and had to heal. She starts reflecting, as one does, and she almost gave up the revenge arc when she was sold or peer pressured into a fixed/arranged marriage. And it's cool character building. Mizu was actually, her and the husband grow to like each other, as they confirm she's not gay because she eventually gets the Doonies beat. Unfortunately, her husband turns his back on her because she beats him in a fight, and I'm like, wow, you tried to show off and look manly, then you got your ass beat. She put belt to ass and you got mad and ran away. And not only did you get mad and ran away because you got belt put to ass, you then snitched on her. That's some horse, dog. Anyways, more importantly, like I said, guards show up to the house and her husband sees her about to get captured and jumped, and he turns his back on her again. So he doubled down, bruh. It's unclear who turned her in between the mom and the husband, but hey, it is what it is at this point, and my money's on the husband with his bitch ass. Fast forward, Mizu gets trapped again, and I don't know how the world what happens, so just watch. She's putting in work. She cuts this dude's foot off, slice. Oh, copyright pause real quick. She's about to put in work, does it between the legs. She's hitting trick shots on these things, stabs him in the neck. Get out of here. Copyright pause real quick. Comes through, slices a hand. She is just bullying these people. Slice them in the neck. Grabbed another one, bloody finger and all. Copyright pause. Takes a foot off. She didn't even have to do that to him. But little did you know she was making a Nagi keeper the whole time, and she putting in work for this motherfucker. Slams 3 people. Throws a foot at a motherfucker. Chops his ankle off. She's getting jumped right here. It's okay. Copyright pause. It's alright. She starts helicoptering. Look at this motherfucking helicopter. Bounce it off the motherfucking belly button and stank a nigga. Bro, and then she slides up, picks it up, have these running, bro. It's G. Bro, I wrote that first chapter in January! For the sake of getting this out in a reasonable amount of time, I'm gonna condense a lot of this, alright. So after solo squatting an entire Fortnite lobby, some bounty hunters pull up to take Akemi home. Mizu thinks about it for a second and decides it's better for her to go home.
Mizu! Get up!
Fast forward, Mizu infiltrates Little England, and I just want you to know that niggas is dying. Like, there's a lot of death. Eventually, she makes it really close to the top floor where she gets drugged by a monkey, and it was literally a monkey. She eventually runs into the closet, and this is the closest we're gonna get to Until Dawn Wendigos. Luckily for us, Mizu was built like that, so she wipes them and comes across Tai Chin, aka Punta. I still haven't confirmed if his name is actually Tai Chin. So I'm just gonna keep calling him Tai Chin. Whilst rescuing him, she faces the messenger, who is literally a brute. Like, bro is literally Shugoki. I missed that game, bro. I missed that. But they box in, and Mizu gets hit so hard, the drugs kick back in. Fast forward, she gets hit with a grab attack, and I'm not gonna lie, them shits be getting me too. What?
Restrictive to race of gold, shadow, death, in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
So they go band for band, and Mizu ends up stabbing bro in the shoulder, and he uses that to put her in the Backbreaker 3000, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. Anyways, Mizu is mixing this, but yeah, this man takes no poise damage. Like, he dead ass hyper armors a sword to the neck, bro. So Mizu is about to get her windpipe crushed, but she's into role reversal, so she stuffs his with a hand grenade. Is she not one of the coldest protagonists in recent memory, bro? Anyways, like this is a phenomenal debut. So beaten, sore, and injured, Mizu scales the wall and murders one of the shoguns, then throws Tai-Chan's hoe ass in the room. And I feel bad for calling him a hoe ass, but bro is literally a xeno. Anyways, in one of the most gangsta entrances I've seen, Mizu looks for Fowler when he shows up, and it is on sight. 0 words exchanged. Let's get these guns clapping. Bro shot 15 grams of pure lead at Shotty. Mizu attempts to block the bullet. It fails, and now she has a bullet wound in the shoulder. And what does Fowler say after wounding the main protagonist?
No one murders so well as the British. It's our #1 export.
Shigaraki could never! S-tier quotes! And oh, it gets better. Embarrassing, but better. So Mizu runs up on bro. Bro sent her across the room. Then he starts talking shit. He sees Tai-Chan, kicks his wounded body across the room, steps on his broke his fingers. God damn! So Mizu gets up, and I love how she never says, Fowler, stop it! No! Tai-Chan, run! No, she just keeps blitzing. So she runs up. In the bullet hole, by the way. Poise break, grab attack. Like bro gives Mizu a lecture. Then he starts throwing hands, and Tai-Chan eventually slashes Fowler in the back.
No, that's not enough.
He gets rinsed so quickly, and after catching a samurai blade to the back, bro, Fowler's response is,
Still alive? Why?
Mink, 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 bro. Like, now while Tai-Chan is literally getting beat to death, Mizu's recent memories are flashing before her eyes, and there's a lot of theories about, you know, what goes on or why your brain does this. But the science theory is your brain is looking through your past experiences for a way to escape your current situation, and Mizu for some reason is thinking of nubs. Eventually she saves Tai-Chan by jumping off a cliff. After this, I'm like, damn, bro's an asshole. He talks shit. He's ruthless. He got aim. He can box. S-tier potential, bro. S-tier potential. Fast forward, we get in the recovery arc, but the highlight is Akemi getting in an arranged marriage. She basically is joining a roster at this point, and the hoes are trolling her, bro. They have like the ceremonial dinner, right? And they swear they serve her some shit that could not be FDA approved, right? And I forgot to mention, this is after they make her blacken her teeth, because for some reason the prince that they're going to wants all his women to blacken their teeth. But besides that, bro, look at this. What is this, bro? And that's not mayonnaise. And if you think that's ranch, I envy your innocence, bro. Fast forward, Mizu does a really cool ritual, and I believe this is like some kind of ritual where you write everything that ails you or your sins on your body, and then you go skinny dipping to essentially wash your sins away. Akemi goes on a side quest, and bro, what are these animators on, bro? They start showing that hand. They start showing off the chickens, bro. And I'm like, what the like, they put rent into this too. I haven't seen him. So Fowler sets up a meeting, and I'm only showing this because I promise you Fowler would have been an elite opium smuggler. Because bro, look at this. He just built a musket out of a piano, a clock, and some chess pieces, bro. How in the world did he do this? And then we find out that he has an army. Now it's time to switch perspective for a little bit. So Fowler might be the greatest antagonist since Frieza, bro. I'm not lying to you. All right, I'm not tapped in on Griffith yet. Berserk scarred me, bro. I was 19. I wasn't ready for all that. All right, I haven't typed into the Geo yet, the guy from, I think that's JoJo. And then, you know, after I finish Naruto, I'm gonna get into JJK. All right, but this is like a Orochimaru Frieza, like Planet Namek level arc, right? Now, for some context, the Shoguns have some sort of annual meeting, and for some reason, Fowler wants to be in said meeting, and I'm assuming to get them to break this isolation shit. Unfortunately, they refuse to let him in because of, well, where he's from. So instead of the logical response of, patience, and diplomacy, he pulls up with an army. Blicked up! He sits outside the maximum range of the vaunted bow and arrow, and they go band for band. And I'm talking flawless execution because they are just pub stomping. Bro wipes the team on the bridge, and it's just, they just clapping people on the way to the Shogun's tower, bro. At said tower, after personally executing the last of his guardsmen, he enters the tower. After entering the tower, all they hear in the panic room is gunshots. They just hear, he's getting them clapping, bro. He arrives and lectures the hierarchy about being greedy and tells them that he's basically gonna trade culture mix, influence, and breed until they think an ugly British mug like his is more beautiful than their own faces. And narration cannot do this next part justice, so I'm gonna let it play.
Put away your gun. I will die with honor. Oh no, they need to see it, your humiliation. That's how they'll know.
After this, one of the samurai attempts the ritual, and Fowler's response to this is,
Lord Mori. Didn't know you had it in you. Anyone else?
Bro! That's so... Skip that! Bro, look at this! He's smiling while pulling the trigger! Bro, anyways, Mizu forces the gun to backfire and all hell breaks loose. After blitzing Fowler's personal gang, Mizu ends up chasing Fowler. Quick side note, Tai Chin gets revenge on this guy with the LeBron cut, and that dude was sleazy as hell, bro, and I loved it too. Bro was horrible. Can't say he didn't deserve it though. Fast forward, and Fowler thinks he's the fucking Kool-Aid man for real. Mizu ends up getting poise broken after one hit, and I'm like, get up! Tai Chin goes to attack. Mink, mink, grab attack. Bro got cooked so efficiently. Eventually, Mizu runs up, right? And bro almost needed dentures after that. Anyways, bro power kicks Mizu and says, fuck it, you gotta die. But before he's able to stab Tai Chin, Mizu stabs him in the foot. After all that, Fowler resets the fight. After some hide and seek, he jabs Mizu with a dagger, and they go band for band. Then Fowler tries to run away, and we're like, where you think you going, buddy? Now the room is on fire, and they go band for band again, and for the first time, Fowler experiences fear. Fear to the point where he'd rather run through a flaming doorway than fight someone half his size. Side note, Akemi is running away when she thinks to herself, why be a hoe in a castle when you could be a woman with a kingdom? So she traps everyone inside with the fire, presumably to rebuild and run the city herself in the future. Anyways, Mizu is looking for Fowler again, then... I swear, Elden Ring be doing this shit for no reason, bro. Fight me! Anyways, Fowler is trying to give Mizu the Brackburger 3000, which has to be the most inefficient way to kill someone in anime of all time. Eventually, the survival instinct kicks in, and now they going band for band again. Well, not actually, because he just starts kneeing the man. Bro caught like 12 flying knees. Like, what's crazy is after this, bro is about to die. He literally has a dagger to his neck, and he's laughing! And not only is he laughing, he starts gaslighting his ass off, bro. Like, he is cooking, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because I know another word you don't know. A magic word. London.
I hope this gets renewed for a season 2 because this show has some characters with S tier potential. Fowler is an S tier caliber villain, like, but I feel like he needs more screen time. Like, he needs to do what he's been doing for a longer run of time before he compares to some of the crazier villains in anime. Plus, I doubt he's gonna play a big role in future seasons and whatnot. In my opinion, I just kind of skipped to that real quick. In my opinion, Mizu has a chance to be the greatest female protagonist in recent memory. It'd be S tier regardless of race, ethnicity, or planet of origin. Shout out to Frieza. Akemi is like more interesting than great, but they set her up to be something crazy. Like, I have a feeling like if this show gets like a 1 season per the people she's looking for, so like 4 seasons, right? Or I guess it would be 3 because apparently she already got 2 of them. Akemi might end up being my favorite character. Anyway, but besides that, like, I'm optimistic that this show will be getting future seasons because it was an Emmy nominee. With that being said, I love the show, and I'm not gonna lie, for real, like, this show is cold, bro. I can't wait for the WO community to get their hands on it. You know, some of the funnier anime reviewers and whatnot to get their hands on it. As for me, we got another massive project on our hands, as we're going to see where one of the greatest villain duos of all time ranks in video game history. A villain duo that you guys will probably be very familiar with. I'm waiting for the final season of MHA to get dubbed because I'm a loser, but I also hear that, you know, I'm going to have a field day with Shigaraki. Y'all aren't familiar with my game because, well, I'm not a big channel and I don't have a lot of reoccurring videos, but I am the #1 Shigaraki hater. So until we meet then or in the comments, remember, Infinite Man, because we know we have next, sponsored by Atari, and